Hi guys, how are you? Today I have been thinking a lot about things that we as humans can improve, and this time I took the liberty to think about myself only. I have this candle with me that I've set the intention to clear and clean all the negative thoughts and things like that from me. There's a word that I can't find right now. It smells so nice. I don't know what it's made of, but it smells beautifully. For a while now, a really long time, I've been trying to work on myself and be a better person from all the perspectives that I could be. And I've been having ups and downs, of course, like a lot. And today especially was really productive day, but also pretty hard one. I've realized some things that maybe can help you too if you have these struggles also. For example, I've realized that I do have some unsolved feelings about my mother, especially, that I thought I didn't. And it was a little bit of a shock that, you know, all my life I've been hiding them so deeply that I did not realize that I have them, like not consciously, maybe the subconscious knew them. The thing is that once I did, it was such a relief, because if you know something, if you there's a step forward, and you can begin the healing. And I realized that I was ashamed because I had those feelings in me. Like you may know, what happens in the childhood could stay with us for the rest of our lives. And it can be things that could affect our day-to-day interactions and the way that we feel about ourselves. Usually, you don't even know what the problem is. For example, for a year now, I think, a year, maybe a year and a bit, I've noticed some patterns, like, being put in some situations that I had no idea how I got there, or why somebody would want to make me feel bad for some things that I did not do or did not intend to do. So every time this happens or other things do, I tend to think a lot about what I did, what could have I done differently, and things like that. But I don't always find the answer, or even if I do, maybe it's not the correct one. Some things can appear as superficial, but maybe the root is way down. And these days I've been trying to relax and disconnect and I've been having a really strong burnout where I couldn't work anymore. I did not have creativity anymore, and I love my job. But I felt so down with everything, like disappointed in the whole world and in the system and the people, in me. And the fact that I could not work felt even heavier on me because, I was, I started feeling guilty again. Not only because I have been seeing myself as weak, which I'm not used to, but also because I had to keep some promises towards the clients that I've worked with, and I feel that I just couldn't do it anymore. And I believe it was the first time in my life when I really felt that so deeply. So I've been trying to think about solutions, but of course I had to get some rest, and especially psychological rest. It was not easy. It was, I've had it easier. What can I say? But I've been trying in so many ways, like, meditation or doctors or just me working with me or talking with a friend or two, trying to see beyond the surface. Just last night I've realized something, and today something even deeper. They both were connected, and I've been trying to find the answer. Why do I attract some things? Because everybody attracts some things, and you know, maybe it's the way that you. I don't know if you heard the. There's a book called, I believe, the five. The five wounds, like childhood wounds or traumas that stop us from being ourselves. And well, I've been feeling a lot of guilt, and guilt especially towards myself. That that is why I used to believe and to think that it was the main feeling that I've had, the most important one that I need to solve. But um, actually, I've discovered, like I said, that I've been feeling guilt because I've had some unsolved feelings with my mother, and I was judging myself for that. I shouldn't feel that, and it's not fair. And you know, maybe it made me feel like a bad person. So, and I've noticed that, like, the patterns that everybody almost that I've had any conflict with for the last year had the same patterns before also, but in the last year I paid more attention, and they were really similar to my mother. Like, um, for example, she believes and she feels, that's what she says to me, that she's not content with me. She's not. I represent a stressful situation for her and things like that. And basically, and it's not only my opinion and what I know, it's based on nothing. Like, I am okay, I'm a good kid, so I don't have any problems, like nothing out of the ordinary, of course. Um, my brother doesn't understand that either, and neither does she, because I've, of course, tried to talk to her and ask her, why do you feel this, and how can I help, or what can I do, because it is not pleasant to hear that over and over again. So, and a lot of the people that I've met almost entirely tried to make me feel guilty like she does. And I believe I attract them. I attract them just until I realize this wound and start healing it. And sometimes the problem with these wounds and is that it can take control of you. For example, if you have the rejection wound, you would get attracted to people that can make you feel rejected. And you don't like that. It doesn't feel good. But the wound wants to get out, so it attracts those people. And sometimes it can lead to toxic relationships that you don't know why, but you just cannot put a stop to it. So I've been so analytical like all the time, and sometimes, or almost all the time, it's really hard for me to acknowledge what I feel and to just feel. I tend to filter everything to find the logic in everything and the cause and the effect, and I tend to also judge people who don't do that. Like, and I've also been obsessed with not hurting anyone and not making a mistake. I was obsessed with that. So yeah, and lately I've tried to give in and not think that much, and to really try to connect with myself and feel and try to figure out what I really feel. So not other people's projections about me or my ideas that were borrowed, so to say, from other people or things like that, because I do have a lot of those, and especially projections, I think. And sometimes I tend to act based on fear, and a fear that it isn't even mine. So yeah, there were a lot of situations lately, like I have no idea how I gotten into them, but I know they were necessary in order to get to this way more deep conclusions that were actually the root of these problems. So, because we do need to heal the root, otherwise, it's just healing on the surface, which is actually okay, but if the root is not healed, it can come back over and over again, and of course we don't want that to happen. I do have a lot to learn, but mostly I need to feel and stay connected with myself and try to accept that I too am human also, and being perfect maybe and honest and so on can be toxic if that means to stop being myself. I've tried to balance some situations, and lately um, I've said, okay, I can do this and that. I do know my intentions, and I always did. And okay, this action of mine should not hurt anyone, and not even myself. And if it comes natural, then I'll do it, and that's it. So, and I'm not thinking about crazy things like the simple fact to I don't know, talking to a friend, yeah, or to a new friend. And I've tried not to overthink everything. Of course, that conflicts could appear anywhere, you know, and that is what actually happened. But I will still try to get rid of all the projections that I have on me. Because I don't know if you know, but you can feel them. So sometimes when you want to do something that it shouldn't be a problem, and it wasn't a problem in any other day, if you suddenly fear a blockage and maybe a fear of doing that thing, that something is happening. For example, when I used to have, for example, a boyfriend who was maybe jealous of me, yeah. The simple act of talking to somebody else, just, talking, was starting to frighten me for obvious reasons. But that wasn't me, and it wasn't something that I should have felt. And sometimes toxic people tend to make you feel guilty and not good enough, or and I've had a lot of toxic relationships, unfortunately. So that is why the root is very important, and realizing what the real problem is could save a lot of heartbreak and stress and things like that. So this is what I'm doing these days, and I hope you can, if you do have some situations, that get repeated over and over again, you might benefit from this experience of mine that can inspire you to look deeper. Go to the childhood period. And go as many times as you need, because I did that before and I actually did not see it. I did not see these unsolved feelings that I have towards my mother. I've seen them, I know what happened, I know how my childhood was, but I thought I am okay with it, I thought everything is good, and I was sure of that until today, and also yesterday. Yesterday, I realized that I do attract people that could make me, that could trigger me with the guilt. Even if it's just the guilt towards myself, that I've allowed myself to interact with people like that, like it was yesterday, for example. But that is just one thing. I believe there are more, but this is my main problem, in my opinion, with the relationships. The same pattern. Find yours. Maybe you can find more. This book says that we can have more than one wound. I don't really know if I'm pronouncing it right. And I'm still ashamed to acknowledge what I am feeling, and I've hid for so long. It is a hard realization to have, that you have resentment or negative feelings towards somebody that you are supposed to love with all your heart. It doesn't mean that you don't, and you still do, but you know, we judge ourselves first and then the others. And I know I love her and I know she loves me, so I knew this all my life. Maybe that is why I could not face the fact that there are some other feelings too. I do feel better now, and I am accepting these feelings in order for them to heal. And it is still strange for me because I tend to see everything. Like, I'm a really good people reader also. And I did not see that about me. Like, I still am in shock. But this is also the perfectionism talking. And I know that there's a little voice inside my head who wants to say, how could you not see that, and it's your fault. So it's related. It's guilt and some shame also, because those two are really close to each other. And I'm allowing myself to heal. I'm working with myself and with the help of other people too. I've also tried a new therapy for me. I was really curious. Reiki, with a good friend of mine that I trust, and he also is a really good people reader too, and he's also really smart. And by talking to him, with or without Reiki, I've realized some things, and I still go to him and ask him, I've seen that, or I thought about that, and he's so good at explaining things to me. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I will also go to therapy and try things like that, how to heal childhood traumas, so to say, and feelings, how to see them more clearly, how to not let them affect who you are today and the present situations. I'm also improving, I hope, my relationship with God and the universe. And firstly, the connection to me, because I have to be connected to me in order to be connected with everything. You cannot be connected to only one thing, so just connected with me and not the universe, for example. It just, I don't believe it can work like that. And I am trying to accept my feelings, and if you do struggle with all the thoughts that I did have also, all the critique, all the judgment, seek help. There are a lot of videos online. I really like, for example, Marisa Peer. She's amazing. I would also like to try hypnosis. And I want to try everything in order to find those things that help me. Because for everybody, there's something that clicks. And for everybody, there comes a time when you click. Maybe it was necessary for everything to happen exactly like it did to help me realize the truth. And maybe the timing is perfect. So I am not focusing and trying not to focus on what could have been, why it was like that, or you know, but focus on the solution and all the resources that I have to heal. Not only myself, but my relationship with everybody and everything else that it is to heal. It is pretty delicate situation to not to be able to be yourself, the best version of yourself that you could be if you wouldn't be limited by fears or expectations or feelings of insufficiency. Maybe there's a lifetime work, but every little step forward, I believe it's a victory, and we can win the battle without even realizing it, and that is the beauty of things. And I'm already seeing how I'm changing just by realizing some things. I feel a lot better, and I used to be lately very anxious and lost. I felt lost. But life has ups and downs, and I've been up before. And then I fell, and then I've been up. But I'm never giving up. I will always have me, and we do have everything we need within ourselves. Don't forget that. I love you.